Thank you. So we're gonna.
Thank I've got two passed down.
Yeah. Make some more.
I don't.
Make some more.
Thank you. Do I need to hand that to you, sir?
After the board gets some.
Just think.
Kim asked Angela to come back and give you yours, please.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Are we live?
Yes.
Chief Justice one, and the President of the General Election having the hearing on the third day of November 2020, and to the zero one says, tally the votes constant, so if you could have it. Yeah.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm glad to see everybody still safe and well as far into the season. I think that's a good sign. My name is Elizabeth Mangrum. I'm chair of the Moore County Board of Elections, and I'd like to call this recount meeting to order. I'm going to ask that board members raise their hand when I announce their name to identify themselves to the public. Susan Adams here, Richard Ashton, Mr. Bill Case.
I'm here.
And Mr. Craig Kennedy.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to remind all board members of their duty and obligations to avoid conflicts of interest or even the appearance thereof. Having reviewed this afternoon's agenda, does any board member have a conflict of interest coming before the board today?
No.
Excellent. Hearing none, We meet this afternoon because the second place candidate in the contest for the North Carolina Supreme Court Chief Justice contest has requested a hand-to-eye recount to take place in each county in accordance with state law. The precinct that the State Board of Elections randomly chose for Moore County is Eastwood. Only the Supreme Court Chief Justice contest in the Eastwood precinct from Election Day will be recounted today. In the event the results of our recount today differ from the machine recount results in such a way that extrapolating the amount of the change to the entire state would result in reversing the results, the State Board of Elections will order a full statewide hand-to-eye recount in the contest. To prepare for the recount today, the director has assembled a bipartisan team of 4 members. One team member will read the name from the ballot, and a bipartisan team member will be there to confirm the selection. And the second team will record the tally of votes. If the 2 members on this team do not tally at the same time, the team shall stop to resolve the issue before proceeding. I'd like to remind members of the public that public comment is not acceptable during the counting or recounting of ballots, and it is against the law to interfere with election officials during the execution of their official duties. With that, Director Clendena, would you please introduce our bipartisan teams assisting the board with today's recount?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. We have Diane Chisholm, Janice Green, Kim Reagan, and Cheryl Coppler. And Angela will be helping oversee the count, as will Ann Brown of our staff will be in charge of our ballots. And our first step will be to divide the ballots by candidate or by overvote or undervote. And then the team will sit down and begin their tick and tally. And as the chairman said, we'll have 2 people ticking and tallying. And then the other 2 members, one of each party, will be calling the name, and they'll watch each other. They call the name. We'll take turns for that. We only have a little over 300 ballots to count today. So this should go very quickly and very easily, we pray. So, and if you'll bring out the ballots now. So the first thing that's going to happen, y'all will use your bipartisan teams to sort. Be careful. The number that just came out of the bag is the write-ins that were in other races, so they're stored separately.
We need to keep the scores separate. Do I need to keep the write-ins separate?
I don't think so.
Okay, that's fine, no.
This is- Remember, if you got no vote, they go on separate spots. This is No,
No. You mean turn it that way?
Yeah. thank
Right. Get the tape. You need to get the tape from the election day.
you. That one's about 12. Y'all come over to the table.
We take them. or
No,
something.
you're just going ahead and have a seat. Well, just Cheryl and Kim are gonna sit down. Do you wanna sit down or stand? Does it matter, Janice, to you whether you're standing or sitting? Okay.
Move it that way to something about.
Or that four votes. You might want to just hold. You don't want them all on the side.
Okay.
Janice, hold on a minute, okay? Just so that the public understands, they are now taking each individual ballot, reviewing, making sure it is the name that it is. So we're watching each other. And then when you get to the tally, you'll hear both the ladies say tally. And then you're gonna turn the next file sideways, Janice, just in case we got off, okay? And so once we go through that, yes, Lane.
Linda, please tell us the total number of ballots that they are processing, which I assume is the number from the canvas that you're starting with.
That is correct. So, Angela, do you have
332.
332? Is that correct? 332 is the total number they're calling.
Maybe. 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 Maybe.
maybe, 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 maybe.
Okay, Janice, you want Diane to call for one?
Let me finish this out.
Okay.
Maybe, 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 maybe.
Jen, Jen. I mean, not that one. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You had one laying, and then when you put the other one down, that's when you said maybe so. I don't think you- not that.
Well, maybe. 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 Maybe.
Hold on. Hold on. I mean, you got right with what she just did.
That should be 5. They have the same. Keep going. Yeah, but with your stack. Your stack, right? They have the same.
Do you have
Yeah,
five
but what
in
I'm
this
saying is the
file?
stack, right, that's where I'm saying.
How do these stacks?
Count your stack.
Just to make sure you
Just the
have
stacks,
five.
that's all I'm saying, just how many stacks, just make sure you got
Not
it.
a stack, how many stacks of 5? How many stacks of 5? Let me count. Seven. Seven. 5. So that was about perfection.
How many stacks do you have? 38 stacks, 38 times 5. You can do the math in
You did 190.
Should have, if they got 195, should be 39 stacks.
there. You count 39. Okay, so you got 39,
But
but you only got 38 stacks.
But I know what happened. There was a stack laying here and I put it back on the stack. So I know what happened.
So we have 39.
Right now you have 38 sitting there, right? You should have 39.
That's 30. This is 39. This is
38.
That's 38, I'm sorry. And the one I put back made it 39.
So we need to get to 39, right?
It's
Because they've got 39 showing. And you got 5.
And let's move those over.
And that was my fault. Because it was here. It was lying there and I put it back.
All right. So you got 39, they're all down.
That was my fault.
Did you say wait? And
What? No, go ahead, sorry. I'll keep them here.
Nobody. 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 Milby, 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 Beasley, and Beasley. You want to hold them? That's the last of them. Beasley, 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 Beasley.
Okay, right here, you have five. See, you're putting that one down, you're not saying Beasley, and then you put your second one down, you're saying Beasley, so they're missing.
Oh.
That's what's happening. So make sure it's five right there.
Ready? Beasley, 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 Beasley. That's a Beasley. That's three. Beasley, 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 Beasley.
Okay, and then the blanks. And then I'll take that.
On your vote. 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 On your vote.
That needs to be looked at on hold. We'll go ahead and let Janice look at it and see what she says. She. But do you see a voter's intent there? Yes, because one is a lot, right, okay.
Yes.
Pass it to the board. Yes. Madam Chair, it appears to be an overvote, but I think y'all can determine voter intent on that one, so I'd like for y'all to look at that vote.
Did we get a chance to look at it?
Pardon me?
Did we get a chance?
No, ma'am, you can't look at it.
Okay, thank you.
And this ballot will be stored separately in case we end up with further proceedings. Okay. North Carolina is a voter intent state, so if the board determines the intent is clear on the ballot, then they'll count it as what they deem as voter intent.
Let's see what we do.
Mr. Case, you're not to look at any other race other than the Beasley race.
So do you need a motion?
I would think that would be in order, Madam Chair. If the board feels like voter intent is there.
Any motions? Discussion?
I would move, I don't know how to phrase the motion. I believe there is voter intent on this for one candidate.
And I do believe that the state gave us some directives and some resources to use and lots of examples as well for us to make that decision.
I'm gonna refer to page 19 of their examples. And it says that any ballot that is marked for more than one candidate for the office shall be deemed an overvote, and no vote shall be counted for that ballot item. And the examples they give are completely different from that, but Richard, you wanna pass that down to her?
Yes, we probably don't have it on.
And I'll see if I can find an example of your time.
It appears to me that the voter has made solid marks on all the other candidates that she wanted to vote for, he wanted to vote for. And certainly this one has, again, dark circle area. The other one is just an outline. It seems to me that that's sort of indicative of the intent of the person. I would accept that one.
Any ballot that has a mark in the target area or candidate area of one candidate and on which other marks in the target areas or candidate areas of any other candidates have been partially erased, scratched out, or otherwise obliterated shall be counted as a vote for the candidate which the mark was not erased, scratched out, or otherwise obliterated, provided no other candidate similarly marked.
So that ballot was separate, but M100 didn't count.
Well, the M100 did count it. But, you know, we have discussed before that whenever the voter has not properly marked the ballot according to the instructions by not filling in an oval, that it may or may not read it. And once that ink begins to dry, it might read it differently. That's why it says that if we're doing a hand-on sample, that y'all must determine voter intent if it appears to be there.
Well, did Bill make a motion or not? I don't know what happened.
I think he's still researching.
Oh, so,
Should the motion be with respect to how it should be recorded for which candidate? Is that the proper way to phrase the motion if I do want to make one?
Yes.
I would move that the single overvote that we have be recorded for Beasley.
For a second.
I'll second that.
All right, so there's a motion made and seconded to record the overvote as a vote for Beasley. Any further discussion?
I mentioned as part of the discussion, I guess, before we even had the motion, that I believe that the intent is well demonstrated by the fact that the
circles on the other candidates was filled in totally. On the Beasley one, it was told, there was 2 marks. One was filled in its entirety, and the other was sort of an outline of the area that be filled in. So basically it was just an outline of the oval.
That's what I made the motion. It appeared to me that the voters started to vote for newbie, caught their error, and filled it in very clearly for Beasley. That's the reason I made the motion.
It's a more articulated statement. Very good.
Well, I don't know about that.
All right, so motion's been made and seconded to record the overvote as a vote for Beasley. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? All right, so the motion carries unanimously. Are there any other considerations? Please retrieve this ballot. And did we get a final number on our Beasley tallies?
We will. Okay, go ahead and tally up your numbers now. Give Beasley one more vote. And then if everybody would sign the tally sheets. Hand them to me. How did you do? And on election day, that ballot was read as an overvote.
So there should be 333 total.
No, the total's not gonna change, still 332.
Okay.
Well, Andrew, may I see those numbers? Okay.
But got in, put in the one, and I think you might probably need to look at, media and production 233, I think. Got 91 for her, just do that. Well, and then 91. So do they need to go ahead and put the mark for Tuesday up here?
They did.
Oh, you already did? Yeah, sorry.
Do what now?
That is happening.
That is correct. Yeah. So we're 2 ballots.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, so you make sure all of them were fine. Right?
Yes.
You
Gotta go back to it.
want them to count the five.
We're off 2.
Can we switch people?
Do you need to do it over or just count stack?
I think you need to count the stacks, and I think
Make
those
sure
two,
there's 5
those
in
two
each
ballots
stack.
are laying
That's
over
what
there.
I'm thinking too.
Yeah, there's two up top.
Yeah, that weren't, they didn't put it on the list, there's two ballots laying over there.
Yeah,
there's
they
two
got
of them.
it.
Right
Oh,
there.
they did?
Yes, they got a block or
So
two.
we need to count five. So you
They
want,
need it.
who you want to count?
I think we need to count each 5, you know, and make sure there's 5 in each stack is what I'm saying,
Okay.
right?
I agree.
Now, who do you want to count?
The bipartisan team looks good, yeah.
You should count behind her. Kim and y'all should both count each stack, right?
I kept behind you. She kept behind you. I'm gonna write in that, send them to the next one. Behind you. Yeah. I'll be- Angela, the ATVs for issue crosses and
ATV for you. Yeah, I had 6 in it.
Okay, so we have found 2 extra in the stack of that.
No, just one. I think there's one. Yeah, you have to redo. Yep, so you want to cover that. That's maybe right. Mhm. And I'll give you 233.
So you're doing what now, Angela?
That, they found one extra one in newbie that was not wrote down, so they're writing that one down. That gives him 233, which is matches. But they need to recount, Beasley.
Okay.
So there should be one more.
So we've got newbie in balance now.
Yep.
There we go. Hallelujah.
Okay, so now have that one for Beasley, plus the overvote she got, she now has 90. Brings up total number of ballots, 370.
On election day, Beasley had 91. Today, with the review of that one ballot, she goes to 92. And Newbie had 233, and he stays at 233. We will not show that we had any overvotes, but we had 7 undervotes, which were just left blank, okay? And so, as I said, that one ballot that the board has ruled on today will be stored separately and noted as being adjudicated by the board. And we thank y'all for coming. Madam Chair?
Let's do recap.
I'm sorry.
We just asked for a recap of the count.
There- So we did counts, 233 counts for newbie and 92 votes for Beasley, for a total of 335.
332. 332.
332, my math, sorry, don't have my calculator. I got 325.
325.
Yes.
That undervote.
You got your 7 undervotes.
All right, well, let's go ahead and state it again for the record, Mrs. Clinton. Could you please repeat that?
Okay. Beasley, 92. Newbie, 233. No overvotes due to the adjudication of the board. And we had 7 undervotes. which meant no selection of a candidate in that race.
All right, so those are our results.
Do we have to have was there a number on the overvote ballot that we should reference? I just thought of that. I don't know for the record. Are there numbers on
There's
it?
no number on the
No.
ballots. This is
There's no
election
number.
day. This is election day.
Okay.
That's why it's stored separately.
Okay.
And there is no canvas that we put in the machines. We just have to fill out a survey and send to the state. I don't think there's anything for the board to sign off on right now on that, so.
No, is that count sheet that they sign?
Yeah, we want the board to sign the county sheet too.
Mrs. Clendenin, is there any other business before the board this afternoon?
No, ma'am. And I love seeing everybody, but it won't hurt my feelings if we don't have to do the whole thing. We will do what we were called to do. I'm happy to do it.
There's not a space for a signature, just sign underneath.
Just
it.
signing, yes, please.
Most angles.
He stays the same. He just-
I'd like to thank everyone who came today and helped us out. Appreciate it.
Yes.
So you guys.
And board members, I'd like for y'all to sign the labels to reseal these ballots, okay?
Okay, excellent. With no further business, we're going to adjourn the
Great
meeting.
job.
Oh, I have them to do score line. Oh, I had.
Board.
I'm sorry, I did